Hi, everybody. This is Miss O. I'm your teacher. Uh, Today, somebody asked me if I thought I looked cute in my outfit, and I wanted to mention that I am 54 years old and I don't generally think I look cute. However, I did want to show you my t-shirt that I was wearing. It says, "Will trade racists for refugees." And what that means is I don't like racists and I'm perfectly happy with refugees. So that's what the conversation that we didn't have yesterday. Today, I would like yesterday for you. I want to talk to you about the worksheet that you're doing today. So, got to show it to you. Okay, here we go. All right, check this out. All right. All right. So make sure you write your name on the worksheet right here. You're going to write your name. No problem, right? And then it says there are three main properties of multiplication. Okay, so the first one is called the communicative property of multiplication. No, sorry, commutative. And it just means that changing the order of factors does not change the product. For example, 4 times 3 is 3 times 4. We saw this yesterday when we made the triangles, right? So it doesn't matter what order they're in. Number 2, the associative property of multiplication. Sometimes we use parentheses, and the parentheses don't matter for multiplication. We should still read what we see, but it doesn't matter. Okay? And the last one, I hope you already know this, is the identity property of multiplication. Is the product, means the answer of 1 times any number is that number. For example, 7 times 1 is 7. So right here, will you also write another example of the identity property of multiplication? For example, I'm right here going to write 6 times 1, and you will write the answer here. Remember, according to this one, it's the same as 1 times 6. All right? All right, so do that. So this is a review, commutative property. It means it is about, it doesn't matter which one you do. So here we only had 4 times 3 and 3 times 4, but it might have more than one. 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. We have 4 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the same as 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, right? It already tells you that both answers are 24. You probably want to circle that the answer is 24. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. Same thing. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. And 24 times 1, again, we're back to the identity property. And so it's still 24. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. And the next one is a question for you. You have to circle the good answer. Which of these is an example of the commutative property of multiplication? Commutative, is it 7 times 3 times 2 equals 3 times 2 times 7? Or is it B, 5 times 3, the difference here, plus 4 equals 15 plus 4? Is that multiplication, right? What do you think? Is it A or B? So what do you think? Is it A or B? Okay, which one is more similar to this one? Okay, next question. Number 2. The associative property of multiplication. The associative property of multiplication says that changing the group of the factors does not change the product. So it's almost the same as number 1. Here's an example. 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Times 4 is 24. Okay? Or if we go 3 times 4, this is 12. Times 2 is still 24. So again, it doesn't matter. It's not important. No importa. Okay? So make sure that this makes sense to you. Okay? Remember that the parentheses tell us to do something first. So here is how we evaluate the left-hand side. 2 times 3 times 4 is 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. And here's how we evaluate the right-hand side. 2 times 3 times 4. This, I know on your worksheet, it's not yellow. So 2 times 3 times 4, we do the parentheses 4 first. This is the first step of PEMDAS. We always, when we have parentheses, we do that first. Okay, and I'll teach you more about that later. So this is 12, right? 3 times 4 is 12. And 2 times 3 is, 2 times 12 is 24. Again, both sides are 24. Okay. So here's your question again. What do you think it's going to be? Which one is the associative property? Okay. And I'd like you to write the answer here. Is it A or B? Remember, we're talking about the parentheses. So you see parentheses in one place, but not here. So one of these is the answer. Please circle it. All right, next one. Identity property of multiplication. I really hope you know this from previous years, right? 7 times 1 is 7, right? It tells us it doesn't matter if the 1 is before or after. 7 times 1 is 7. 1 times 7 is 7. So here's where you have to write 1 times 34 equals, right? I hope you're writing it right here. 1 times 34 is 34. And 34 times 1 equals 34. Okay, and maybe you can give one more example. For example, 100 times 1. And maybe you could write your own example here. Okay, so this is not too difficult for you. And on the other side of this worksheet, we'll work together to make it fun in mathematical and multiplication. Thanks for listening. Bye. Boogie, boogie, boogie.